All right, let's get right into it. Today, we're talking about a boxer who didn't just play the game. He completely rewrote the entire rulebook. A fighter so gifted, he made things that should have been impossible look like just another day at the office. We are, of course, talking about the one and only Roy Jones Jr. Just let that sink in for a second. Not just fast, not just quick, from the future. That's how people tried to make sense of what they were seeing in the ring. This quote, it's the perfect starting point, because it really gets to the heart of his, almost alien-like talent. So, how does a fighter like this even happen? Where do they come from? Well, his origin story is every bit as intense as his fighting style. And it all started with a whole lot of pressure. Yeah, deep in a Florida gym run by his incredibly strict father, a young Roy Jones Jr. was put through a training regimen so punishing they called it the House of Pain. The whole idea was to use that immense pressure to create a diamond, and well, that's pretty much exactly what they got. That's really the best way to describe him, isn't it? A glitch in the matrix. His speed, his reflexes, they were so far beyond what was considered normal that it felt like a cheat code. It's what let him do things that no coach would ever teach you, like fighting with his hands literally behind his back, daring some of the best fighters in the world to even lay a glove on him. So with that insane foundation, his professional career wasn't just a list of victories. No, it was basically one long, continuous highlight reel that left everyone, audiences and opponents alike, completely spellbound. He just tore through the weight classes, grabs his first world title at middleweight, then just keeps that dominant streak going as super middleweight. But 1994, that was a pivotal year. It was the year that set the stage for one of the most defining fights of his entire career.
This is how he did it. You see this list? It's basically everything they tell you not to do in a boxing gym. He'd lead with a hook, a punch you're supposed to set up, like it was a jab. He'd literally leap across the ring from way outside punching range, closing the distance in the blink of an eye. It was pure, beautiful, controlled chaos.
And the result of all that unorthodoxy was just breathtaking. James Toney was a monster, one of the most feared fighters on the planet at the time. But Roy didn't just beat him, he put on an absolute clinic. It was so masterful, so completely one-sided, that after that night, there was just no debate left. Roy Jones Jr. was the best boxer in the world.
But here's the thing about a talent like Roy. Being the best just wasn't enough. He needed a challenge that seemed completely insane, a move of just pure audacity.
Okay, to really get the scale of this, imagine a star point guard in basketball suddenly deciding he's going to play center against the biggest dudes in the league. He was jumping up weight classes to face guys who were naturally so much bigger, so much stronger. People were genuinely worried he was going to get seriously hurt.
Look at this matchup. It was the classic David versus Goliath story. You had Roy's Superman speed and reflexes against the raw, brute power of the heavyweight champion, John Ruiz. The big question on everyone's mind was, could that speed really, truly overcome that much of a size and power disadvantage? And here's why this was so crazy from a historical standpoint. It had been over a century, more than 100 years, since a guy who was once a middleweight champion had successfully gone all the way up to win the heavyweight title. This wasn't just difficult, it was something the modern sport had never seen. And he did it! He actually did it! He didn't just scrape by either. He won a clear, clean, unanimous decision. He used that glitch in the matrix speed to just dance around the bigger, slower Ruiz. It was proof that superior timing and reflexes could conquer raw power. It was the absolute peak of his brilliance.
So, when you look back on it all, what's the lasting legacy of a fighter who just seemed to operate on a completely different level from everyone else?
Well, for one, he didn't just master the sweet science of boxing, he took it and turned it into his own personal art form. For him, the ring was a canvas. It was a stage. It was his playground where he could just show off his incredible gifts and entertain millions. And his talent, it wasn't just confined to boxing. This guy also played professional basketball and even released rap albums. His interests, some of which were pretty controversial, were as unique as his style in the ring. But it all points to the same truth. Roy Jones Jr. was a once-in-a-generation athlete, a master of physical expression, no matter the arena. And that's really the core of it, isn't it? His entire career is the ultimate argument that true genius, the kind that really changes things, doesn't just get good at the existing formula. It has the vision and the incredible ability to create a whole new one. And that's the question Roy Jones Jr. kind of leaves us with.
It goes so far beyond boxing, right? In any field, you name it, science, art, business, do the real innovators, the true game changers, just follow the path that's already there? Or do they have the courage and the raw talent to carve out their own?